All right, guys, it's time again for the Covrprice Top 10 Comics 1 year later. All right, guys, I'm doing a quick 17,500 subscriber giveaway. Here are the items we're giving away. Do they look familiar? That's because they weren't claimed at the 15K giveaway. Now, if you want them, too late. It's been long enough. If you want to win them, stick around to the end of the video to find out how. All right, guys, we're going to get into this Covrprice top 10 list 1 year later. First, the YouTube stuff. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. It will get you into the giveaway. Before we get into the list, though, let's talk a little bit about Covrprice.com. If you buy and sell comics, then you need to try Covrprice. Covrprice is a collection management system and comic book price guide all rolled into one. With Covrprice, you can track the value of graded and raw comics easily. They pull actual sales data from 5 major online marketplaces, so you always know what your collection is worth. It's a pain researching what everything in your collection is worth, but with Covrprice, you don't have to. It'll track everything for you with all the data they capture. They also put out a data-driven top 10, a weekly comic report filled with interesting comic sales. They have a 10-day free trial, so there's nothing to lose. Give it a try. You could check down in the description of this video with a little discount code if you're interested. And with that, let's get right into this list. All right, guys, we're going to start at number 10. Something a little different, something we haven't seen yet. This is Uncanny X-Men 193. This time last year, there was some speculation that Firestar was coming to the MCU, like every other Marvel character has been. While Firestar is a great character, there was no truth to this. However, many raced online to buy up her first in-continuity appearance in this issue and drove it to a high of $20 for a Raw, $130 for a 9.8. 1 year later, that confirmation never materialized and Raws fell to $14, yet 9.8s rose a bit to $152. Apparently enough folks are holding on to hope to see Firestar one day. Guys, I believe I've said it the last 2 Covrprice videos that we're starting to see a trend in these things. And it is that the 9.8s are still rising. They are a premium compared to last year, even if the spec doesn't happen. These 9.8s are still climbing. You just saw it on the screen. Last year, 9.8s, $130. This year, $152. Yeah, it's only a teeny tiny growth. I understand that, but this is a character that has no speculation behind it anymore. Yeah, some people may be holding on to hoping she comes, but that's what she said. I gotta go. There's nothing left to say after that. We have to go down to number 9. That was terrible. Number 9, you've seen this. You're probably going to see it again in the next list. You've seen it for the past 2 or 3 now. This is Ultimate Fallout 4. This is the Pichelli second print variant. Last year, Miles Mania was in full swing. As the first print continued its climb in price, collectors turned to the second print, giving this Pichelli second print variant a high sale of $45 raw, $450 for a 9.8. 1 year later, this variant is still doing well, but it did take a step back from an all-time high 9.8 sale of $900 back in March. Recently, it's fallen back down a bit to the current fair market value of $550 for a 9.8. Though Raws rose a bit to its current fair market value of $105 for some reason. Collectors pulled back on this a bit. However, 1 year later, it's still a good investment. We're going to see Miles for a lot of these lists. It's not a secret. It's not a surprise. We know this. I mean, second print variants now. What else can I say that I haven't said already in a previous video when it comes to Miles Morales? He was getting a ton of love based on Into the Spider-Verse. Then he got another burst when the PS5 game came out, right? I believe that. And now I don't believe there's any rumors of him showing up in the MCU as of right now. I can't imagine if he does or they tease him, expect this to explode. But we do know there is an Into the Spider-Verse number 2. And of course, it's all about Miles. So there's a shot this thing goes up all over again. So a slight climb from last year. for a second print variant. Unbelievable. Now with that, we've done 10, we've done 9. Let's go down to number 8. This is Batman number 92. This is the 1 in 25 Jimenez variant. Punchline had more staying power than we expected this time last year. With a full appearance in Batman 92, this design variant with her on the cover helped her stand her ground against Miles Mania and was the only DC book on this list. This variant was hot and had a high sale, raw of $60. Graded copies hit $150 a few weeks later. 1 year later, raws have dipped a bit with the sales currently around $40. 9.8s sell for a low $75. The black and white 1 per store version of this variant that came out the following week definitely slowed this book's climb. So what do you think? This is like the first decline on this list. And can you blame it? I can't. You know, Punchline still has a little bit of staying power, but this one in particular, I don't know. What are you going to do? It's the only DC book on the list. So all you Marvel guys and maybe some indies, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. There you go. The next one, you kind of should have known it was coming since we talked about in continuity versus out of continuity. We talked about Firestar, right? So that in continuity book, I believe that was number 10 on our list tonight. Well, here's her actual first appearance. That's what's here at number 7. This is Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, number 1, The Newsstand. Again, more Firestar heat caused fans to rush to her first comic appearance, and this one is outside of continuity. For fans of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, this had always been a 200 plus 9.8. It simply got that extra little push with the content rumor and rose to 50 raw, high 325 and a CGC 9.8. 1 year later, with no news, raws have stayed exactly the same. However, CGC 9.8s skyrocketed to her current fair market value, $750. While there's no confirmation of any kind, it would be pretty cool to see Spidey, Human Torch, and Firestar together in a film. Keep in mind, Kevin Feige was a kid when this series was on, so there could be some hope. Again, you're going to hear me say this, and I am going to keep repeating myself. There is an extreme premium for a 9.8, even without that spec news. Come on, raws slid down, but the 9.8s more than doubled? Again, we keep talking about these graded books. There is a premium for a high-grade keys. It's just, that's where we are now in the hobby. And as we do more and more of these lists, I can almost guarantee you're going to see it more and more and more and more. You know, you wonder why these grading companies are falling farther and farther behind. You're getting a premium on their product. You're getting a premium value on these 9.8s. Whether you like it or don't like it, we have the sales data. It's happening. It's probably not going to be the only time it happens. It's going to keep going. So let's go down to number 6 on our list. We've talked about this ad nauseum, but we're going to keep on going. This is Ultimate Fallout number 4. Yeah, again, on the list. Last year, Ultimate Fallout was the hotcakes of comics. On the last show, 9.8s were selling for $795. Well, 2 weeks later, this time last year, 9.8s jumped to $1,250 for a CGC 9.8. Raws also jumped from $220 to $380. 1 year later, a 9.8 fair market value is still around $2,800 and raws around $700. It doesn't stop, Miles. And we're not done. We're probably going to talk about him again in 2 weeks. And you know what? 4 weeks from now, we're probably going to talk about Miles again. You guys probably remember last year. He's just the hottest thing on the planet in comic books. It's kind of exciting and kind of interesting to see the growth and see just how far this book has gone. And you're actually, if you've been watching these videos, you are seeing the incline. It's going. There are no dips. It is just climbing. And 2 weeks from now, I would imagine we're going to see it again. From there, we're going down. Spider-Man number 12 is 5 on our list. This is the Pichelli variant. The Miles Mania Halo spread quickly, that is, spread over to this first kiss between Miles and Gwen. Is Gwen the Mary Jane for Miles? Apparently, the market thought so. This had a high sale of $88, 9.8s selling a few weeks later at a high of $200. 1 year later, collectors moved on and raw values fell to $20. However, 9.8 sales have mostly held with the current fair market value at $180. This is the first book on the list that really kind of maintained that 9.8 value. $20 difference. It's going to sound crazy, but that may be a good price to go grab this book in a 9.8, because if Miles shows up, if Gwen shows up, and when I say shows up, I mean in the MCU, you never know. You may see these books climb and climb and climb again. I told you that there was only one DC book on the list. I lied. Apparently, there's another here. And you guys probably remember this one too from last year. This is number 4 on our list. This is Action Comics number 9. It was this time last year when the first rumor popped up about DC thinking about developing a Superman film around the alternate universe Calvin Ellis, aka Superman, where he's also the president of the United States. While this first appearance, even though he's unnamed, is in Final Crisis number 7, it was this issue that shot up immediately. It instantly went from a $1 book to a high raw sale of $43, 9/8 hitting $107. After no confirmation, prices fell back down until the rumor reappeared a few months ago with word that J.J. Abrams was developing a film with a black Superman. So 1 year later, Raws now sell for $51, 9/8, $390. There's a ton of misinformation out there. Some are saying JJ is directing, others are saying he's not, plenty of other rumors as well. Remember that nothing is confirmed until it is. However, for now, this was a good investment. That's a huge jump. We are talking over triple for that 9.8 in this book. If you guys have this book, get it graded or move it raw. It's still holding its value based on these rumors, again, reappearing. Pretty sure that is the last DC book on the list. And we're going to slide down to number 3 now. This is a fun one. This is Daredevil number 9, still hot. Crazy book. Last year, a casting notice leaked, and the description fit the look of Maya Lopez, aka Echo. This leak spiked speculation that Echo could appear in the MCU via Disney Plus and drove Raw up to $25 with a high sale of $175 for a CGC 9.8. 1 year later, this turned out to be true. It was announced that actress Aliqua Cox, I definitely pronounced that wrong, would be joining the cast of Hawkeye as Echo. And man, did prices go nuts. Raws jumped to $150. Fair market value on a 9.8 sits at $759. However, it had an all-time high sale of $1,099 just back in April. This book will surely jump even more when a Hawkeye trailer hits. No doubt about this. Guys, when I went up to New Hampshire Comic-Con, I believe it was like March or April, I can't remember. This book was everywhere and it was selling. It was on the wall. This was like a $10 book. Then I remember when this happened last year, and it jumped and it never came back down. And now with everything being confirmed, it's another stratosphere. If you're going to grab it now, because exactly when the trailer hits or we see her, it's going to jump again, especially if she sticks around the MCU. And if people like her, she's going to stick around in the MCU. It's as simple as that. Keep an eye out for this book. It's not cheap. I'm telling you guys, it was all over the walls at New Hampshire, and it was selling left and right. We only have 2 books left. How about we go down to number 2 before we do 1? That's silly. And you guys might have heard about this character once or twice before, but how about Miles Morales? Spider-Man number 0. This is the Halloween Comic Fest. As Miles' first appearance issue get way out of our price range, this reprint was a consolation prize for everyone who was priced out of the market on the first print, Ultimate Fallout 4. So buyers, we're snatching these up at $36 raw, $52 for 9.8. 1 year later, raw prices fell to $10. There's just way too many of these out there. However, due to the black cover, high-grade copies are hard to get and have retained value, currently at $61 and a 9.8. I've, for all these things that are out there, I've honestly only come across it once or twice in a collection, but that's just me. I could just, maybe I just haven't come across them. Nothing here except kind of a cover that resembles the Ultimate Fallout 4. It's a reprint. Nothing here. We're probably not going to see this book again. It's probably a good $5 or $10 book, to be honest, but whatever, right? More miles. I bet you we see him again next video, 2 weeks from now. Last one on the list, guys. And remember, down below in the description, covrprice.com, there is a discount code. Feel free to use that. What I really like about covrprice.com, before we get to this number one, is not only do they use 5 sources to generate their sales data, they have pictures of all the books, which I always find helpful, especially when you're looking up variants or first or second prints and such. I think it's a great tool. Having those pictures there is just a little bit more, oomph for your money. It's a lot. It's very helpful. Okay, enough chit chat. Let's get down to number 1 on our list. This is Spider-Man number 20. And yes, more miles. If you recall, this book was incredibly hot and it had connections to last year's current events. It had a high raw sale of $60. 9.8s were selling a few weeks later for about $100. Flash forward 1 year later and collectors have moved on. This now sells for $15, 9.8s down to $57. The market was flooded with copies, bringing the market value down. But wow, what a week Miles had. Guys, this book is out there if you want it. Don't overpay for it. It's probably on a list of top 10 Miles covers, unfortunately, but hey, it is what it is. It's affordable. Don't fall for the overpriced stuff. You can pick this one up. You can find this, no doubt in my mind. And with that, that's our top 10. Let me just give you some numbers here. I have to read this because there's a lot going on. Out of the top 10 books from this time last year, some went up, some went down. Overall, if you would have invested in each book on this top 10 at its market price 1 year ago, it would have cost you $807 raw, $2,938 graded. Today, these books would now sell for $1,155 raw, a little bump. How about this? $5,734 graded. This is, of course, once again, saved by Miles with a bonus power punch by Echo and Firestar. Graded, they would have netted $2,796. That's some profit there. Again, this is not the same case for each top 10 week by week, but come back for the next show as we look at the Cover Price top 10 1 year later. Guys, make sure you check out coverprice.com and see what's on their current top 10 and the various trending movers and shakers list, and come back for the next show and let's see how these books did 1 year later. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I do appreciate it. And as always, keep it comics. All right, 17,500 subscriber giveaway. Here are the items once again. In order to win these prizes, what you have to do is be a subscriber to the channel, like this video, as well as comment on this video. Once we hit 17,500 subscribers, I will do a live show, randomize the comments from a random video, and we will choose our winners. Good luck to everyone, and thank you so much for watching, subscribing, and participating with this giveaway.